Surely you've heard of a 5-step plan before. You've probably also heard of a 12-step plan to deal with alcoholism or other drug-related treatments. But have you ever heard of a 39-step plan? No? Well, neither have I, because that sounds absolutely dreadful. Who'd want to take that many steps just to try and deal with just about anything? So don't take the 39-step plan, take this shortcut. But wait, how does that pertain to this game? You'll find out shortly. Actually, it'll take quite a while, but you'll find out. Timing.
Good evening to you. It's a fine night for the road.
Is that place an inn?
Nope, it's my house.
Service. I'm the landlord, sir. And I hope you will stay the night, for, to tell you the truth, I've had no company for a week.
Well, that sounds a little bit desperate, huh? I pulled myself up on the parapet of the bridge and filled my pipe. I began to detect an ally. I don't really trust your nose for smelling out potential allies.
You're young to be an innkeeper?
My father died a year ago and left me the business. I live there with my grandmother.
It's a bit of a sore
Slow job
subject.
for a young man. And it wasn't my choice, the profession.
Which was?
He actually blushed.
I want to write books.
And what better chance could you ask? Man, I've often thought that an innkeeper would make the best storyteller in the world.
Oh, not now. Maybe in the old days when you had pilgrims and ballad makers and highwaymen and mail coaches on the road. But not now. Nothing comes here but motor cars full of fat women who stop for lunch and a fisherman or two in the spring and the shooting tenants in August. There's not much material to be got out of that. I want to see life, to travel the world and write things like Kipling and Conrad. But the most I've done yet is to get some verses printed in Chambers' journal.
I looked at the inn standing golden in the sunset against the brown hills.
I've knocked a bit about the world, and I wouldn't despise such a hermitage. Do you think that adventure is only found in the tropics or among gentry in red shirts? Maybe you're rubbing shoulders with it at this moment.
That's what Kipling says. Brother romance, and all unseen bromance brought up the 915.
Yes. But here's a true tale for you then. And a month from now, you can make a novel out of it.
I really could have sworn he said bromance. A story of epic proportions. So epic, the A is huge. Mr. Richard and A was a successful mining magnate from Kimberley, Australia. Yes, this is the way mining business is done. His luck changed and he ran into serious financial troubles. Ah, blast it all. I'm running poor. Oh, we're here for the money. But I owe you nothing. Tell that to the business end of my knife. Thugs chased Hannah across the Kalahari to German Africa, pursuing him across the ocean. After him, to the German Africa place. I was about to say, that's a very jaunty hat there. So flippant and enthused. That's a weird name for Africa. Then British East Africa. Now they just call it Africa. Then he got on the Titanic. What? You guys, how'd you get on the boat after all these thousands of miles on the sea? How did you train a new hat to do that? He got away and fled to London. So but they tracked him down. My word! My hat! They had killed his friend! And were chasing Hannah yet! Can you believe it? And what they did to his hat. Just horrible.
You're looking for adventure? Well, you found it here. The devils are after me and the police are after them. It's a race that I mean to win.
By God! It's all pure Rider Haggard and Conan Doyle!
You believe me?
Of course I do! I believe everything out of the common. The only thing to distrust is the normal.
He was very young, but he was the man for my money. Okay.
I think they're off my track for the moment, but I must lie close for a couple of days. Can you take me in?
He caught my elbow in his eagerness and drew me towards the house. As I entered the inn porch, I heard from far off the beat of an engine. Bombs away! He gave me a room at the back of the house with a fine outlook over the plateau. I smoked in a chair till daylight, for I could not sleep. I mean, I could sleep pretty soon, honestly. I'm getting kind of tired. The next morning, I wanted some time to myself, so I invented a job for him. He had a motor bicycle, and I sent him off next morning for the daily paper, which usually arrived at the post in the late afternoon. I told him to keep his eyes skinned and make note of any strange figures he saw, keeping a special sharp lookout for motors and aeroplanes. Well, the spy told you the description of at least one dude, some creepy old man, so you could have given him a more specific person. Then I sat down in real earnest to Scudder's notebook. Yes, the book! I couldn't sleep at all a wink last night, so now's the perfect time to try and unravel the mystery. Excuse me. Portland Place murderer in Scotland. London police have reason to believe that the Portland Place murderer has traveled north into Scotland in his bid to escape the authorities. It has also come to light that the milkman has provided damning evidence, excuse the language, it's right there in black and white, against the flat owner, Mr. Richard Hannay, in connection to the murder of Captain Theophilus Digby. He told me that he was playing a game, said the milkman. He needed to be a milkman for half an hour, and I believed him. But he never came back. He took my hat and coat too, the thief. The milkman's uniform has since been discovered behind a hoarding in an alleyway opposite Mr. Hannay's apartment. Fear not, if there is a killer in Scotland, we will track him down, said Lothian and Borders Police Chief Mr. Hamish Smith. We will be putting extra resources in this manhunt. Should anyone spot Mr. Hannay, a 37-year-old man of average height and build, so average you would be hard-pressed to find him, they should not try and apprehend him. Hannay is known to be a military man with considerable skills with weaponry. The Albanian revolt. Rebels release prisoners. The insurgents have released all the prisoners. Prince William yesterday rode out to the outpost. Everything is now quiet here. Well, good job, Prince William. Carloids, the Greek premier. The state of the Balkans has become the most vexing issue on the international stage. Various failures to resolve the Eastern question over preceding decades have left Europe facing renewed crisis after crisis. And amidst this maelstrom, Greek Prime Minister Konstantin Karolides is regarded as the key stabilizing force in a region beset by regime changes, rebellion, and intractable territorial claims. My word, he really is their only hope. Why, look at this cupboard. Oh, really? I thought the bundle... Is there any reason to look at this? No? Dear Mr. Fraser, thank you for sending us your latest poem, A Frozen Heart in Summer Days. We would be delighted to publish your poem in the January issue of next year. We will turn the manuscript once it has been copied by Recorded Post. Sincerely yours, Edward Lethan, Editor, Chambers Journal. Wow. Gonna push that off almost an entire year. It wouldn't feel great. Frozen Heart and Summer Days. Oh, I'm not going to try to read his handwriting. Last winter our chests were warm as homely fires burnt till dawn. The inn was full with passing trade, a perfect home for travelers bade. The spring was pleasant, and new life to spring. We cooked a pheasant that my father brought in. But things had changed as the sun arrived. But things had changed as my father died. The place came empty, my thoughts and lost. The passing of life is the eternal cost. Now this summer our chests are cold. This inn no longer the place of old. My heart is frozen like the eternal look on my father's face as his life was took. But life goes on, but life goes on. I take over the business as my father's son. My dreams will hold, though never gone. My words have meaning, my father's son. It's actually not too bad. Yeah, not too bad. I like a bit of poetry. Cup of coffee. Gosh darn it. The hills of home. I was born in the land of Scotland when the heather was turning brown. I grew in the hills of Scotland, then wanted to leave my town. I'm bored in the land of Scotland. Please take me away. These desolate plains of Scotland are not where I wish to stay. A fairly short one. This guy doesn't like Scotland. That guy doesn't like London. Nobody likes anything. What the innkeeper saw. Donald woke to the sound of hammering. Thump. They predicted that Donald Trump was going to be president? Donald Thump? Oh, that's no coincidence. Conspiracy alert. Put it out, folks. We got to look through this whole game. Top to bottom, we got to tear apart the code and everything. I'm completely joking. Please, I'm not a conspiracy nut job. I just like a good joke. Chill. Donald woke to the sound of hammering. Thump, the hammer did strike. Thump, the hammer pierced his brain. Oh, okay. Again and again. I did not finish the poem before I made those comments. Oh, man. The beam above his head creaked as the wind whistled around the small cottage. He heard his grandmother moving about in the next room. His father would be at the river already, checking to see if the eggs had hatched. What? I'm a little bit freaked out by that one. Yeah. Alrighty then. But it's just gonna say all the same nonsense, yeah? Oh, brilliant. I looked at a bunch of fiddle-diddly letters on a page. I feel much improved from my efforts. This one's going on a while. I glanced out of the window. There seemed to be two of them, men in aquascutums and tweed caps. What in the world is an aquascutum? One was slim, the other was sleek. That was the most I could make of my reconnaissance. Good reconnaissance. I could see them. That was all I could figure out. 10 minutes later, the innkeeper slipped into the room, his eyes bright with excitement. You okay?
There's two chaps below looking for you. They're in the dining room having whiskies and sodas. They asked about you and said they'd hope to meet you here. Oh, and they described you jolly well. Down to your boots and shirt. I told them...
I think they're keen on you.
...last night and got off on a motorbicycle this morning. And one of the chaps swore like a navvy.
Navvy? Can't we get rid of her any game? I made him tell me what they look like. One was a dark-eyed, thin fellow with bushy eyebrows. The other was always smiling and lisped in his talk. Neither was any kind of foreigner. On this, my young friend was positive. Hey, I know my racial profiling, alright? They're not, non-Scottish. I took out a bit of paper and wrote words in German, as if they were part of a letter.
Take this down and say it was found in my bedroom and ask them to return it to me if they overtake me. Okay.
What? At a bit of a black stone. Scudder had got onto this, but he could not act for a fortnight. I don't know if I can do any good now, especially as Carolitis is uncertain about his plans. But if Mr. T advises, I will do the best I... Mr. T!
Your paper woke them up. The dark fellow went as white as death and cursed like blazes. And the fat one whistled and looked ugly. They paid for their drinks with half a sovereign and wouldn't wait for change.
Now, I'll tell you what I want you to do. Get on your bicycle and go off to Newton Stewart to the chief constable. Describe the two men and say you suspect them of having had something to do with the London murder. You can invent reasons. The two will come back, never fear. Not tonight, for they'll follow me 40 miles along the road, but first thing tomorrow morning. Tell the police to be here bright and early.
That's a very specific assumption. He set off like a docile child while I worked at Scudder's notes. I had a sudden inspiration. That's why I said, aha! Scudder had said Julius Gachenyi was the key to the Carolinas business, and it occurred to me to try it on his cipher. To try what? Oh, it worked. The 5 letters of Julia gave me the position of the vowels. Okay. What a pain. Chichenius gave me the numerals for the principal consonants. I scribbled that scheme on a bit of paper. Okay. In half an hour, I was reading with a whitish face and fingers that drummed on the table. I don't think they probably sound like that. Also, birds chirping. That evening, we dined together. Out of common decency, I had to let him pump me for information. I gave him a lot of stuff about lion hunts and the Matabele War, thinking all the while what tame businesses these were compared to this I was now engaged in. I wish I had some cutlery to play with. When he went to bed, again I sat up. I was ready for him. What, you just smoked all night? Also, are you gonna fill me in what's in his book? I had finished Scudder's book. A pack of lies. Oh, okay, yep. Abrupt end. But I can't lie, felt like a long time coming. But anyways, that's all for this episode, and I'll see you around later, folks. And as always, fruit and doggy.